super dark.
Oh, no. Oh, it's because I was... Oh, there we go. And we are live here at the Resellers morning show, the Resellers Wakeup. And today we've got Kevin Bucchio on, special guest. Great to have you, man.
How are you? I can hear you perfectly.
Finally got the Green Mountain picker, Gary on. Am I still dark? It's...
Oh, yeah.
No, you're good. You're all set, man.
Okay.
Talking.
We are live here at the... Let me mute the morning show, the Resellers Wakeup. And today we got
Who's got that feedback? Who's got that YouTube video open up in the background?
okay, we're good. All right, so let's try this again. We've got Kevin Bucchio on. Very glad to have him from the Thrifting Lounge. I've also got the Green Mountain Picker this morning and Eric Kessel. So he's go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys. Kevin.
Oh, what's up, everybody? This is Kevin from Thrifting Lounge. I run a Facebook group. I run a YouTube channel. And I am a father of 3, which they are all home today, so bear with me.
Yeah, this is a pretty informal little show, so I mean, it's a working hangout, you know. We just kind of want to give everybody an idea of what it's like to be in a hangout. I know there's a lot of people that are kind of apprehensive, you know, maybe they don't have a webcam or whatever, but you know, it's pretty informal, you know. You don't have to get dressed up or be real knowledgeable. You can just pop in anytime you want, ask questions, get a lot of your questions answered on the spot. But yeah, what's up, Gary? We finally got you in here. Been trying to get you for the last couple of days. You feeling better now?
Yeah, I feel better, and I got my schedule switched back around. And for those that don't know me, I'm the Green Mountain Picker. I live in New England, big Green Mountain state of Vermont. I pick just about anything, sell just about anything. I'm a father of 3. And I got one right here, my main concern. The other 2 are off to school, and this one here, she's with me all day. So kind of slows me down a little bit on some of my listing, but I get time in the afternoon.
Right on. Eric, we had you come on later in the show yesterday, but go ahead and introduce yourself again just so that everybody can meet you.
Hey, I'm Eric Castle. I'm living in Columbus, North Carolina. I run mostly online retail, and I also do antique booths, and I run a military forum, and I assist an editor for the American Military Insignia Society. Buy and sell a lot of military paper, pictures, and anything else to make a buck. Just started with Amazon. So got 3 kids as well, and a wife that's always nagging me.
Yeah, I've only got 1 kid and a wife, and I just put them on a plane to New Hampshire yesterday, so I'm going to have a couple weeks to really try and get through this mess.
Hope you send them with some jackets.
Oh, yeah. My wife's got a lot of family back there, so she goes back once a year, and I usually stay home just because I don't like to let my business sit for that long, and definitely don't want to. Gotta keep that money rolling in, you know. And
yeah, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, so they can keep all that snow and other shit up there.
Well, Buffalo gets it bad up there. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts, and my girlfriend's from Keene, New Hampshire. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're in New Hampshire. They fly to Manchester.
Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah, I used to live in Nashville on Walnut Street. That was me and my girlfriend's first place we got, and it was in the ghetto. The first 3 days, I started to stop talking. First 3 days we lived there, the neighbor next door murdered his stepdaughter. It was, it was crazy, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's a good town. It's just a small section. It's a ghetto, man. I had to break up a fight in front of my house. I've never had a problem like this wherever else I've ever lived. I woke up one morning to go to work when I used to sell cars. This lady has my car doors open. This lady's in my car, passed out, with her hand in my change thing. And I said, "What are you doing?" She goes to me, She goes, "Oh, I need money." I'm like, "Yo, dude, get a job." I'm like, You're in my car. Actually, your hand's in my coin jar. What do you do?" Like, I wish I was lying to you. I'm so serious to you right now. Like, it's crazy. Someone tried breaking into my dad's car during the middle of the day. His alarm went off and everything. It was crazy. But Nashua is a nice town, dude. My dad lives in Hudson, which is the next town over. What are they doing up there?
They're just visiting family.
Yeah, it's nice. It's gorgeous up there. I love Florida, though. I don't ever see myself even going back to visit. It's been 4 years now. I haven't visited once.
Yeah, I went back the first year that she went back. It was like, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and it was okay. I liked it, but like I said, ever since I started doing this, I just can't really get away from. I don't want to leave the house for more than a few days, you know.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, it'd be fun to go back to visit family, and I'm a paranoid dude. I won't fly on airplanes anymore because there was a plane I was on that was like really close to crashing. So ever since then, I haven't bothered ever to go on a plane again. I'll drive everywhere I go, even across country. I don't care. I won't fly.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go cross country, I'm buying a motorcycle and I'm taking that.
That'd be so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 kids, so flying's out of the question, but I got conned into it. I'll be in Washington this December.
How old are your kids? I got 3 too. Mine are 2.
I got a 5-month-old girl, a 2-year-old boy, and a 6-year-old boy.
Yeah, that's around the same as me. It's fun, but it's a lot of work. Are you full-time home?
Somewhat, for the most part.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I usually schedule, like, this is good for anybody who does eBay. Don't burn yourself out doing this. Kind of give yourself, like, a set schedule, and then do other things that don't relate to eBay, because you can just burn your, like, I think the first month I started doing this, I almost burnt myself out, man. I was listing, like, 20 items a day. Everything was eBay. It was ruining my relationship. And then when I figured out, okay, let me do Monday through Friday when my girlfriend works, I work. When she comes home, we hang out. On the weekends,
Right.
I'll do the estate sales, yard sales, but I'm not listing. I'm just hanging out with the family, and we'll do the estate sales and yard sales. And it's honestly, it's been awesome ever since I've done that. It's just, you can burn yourself out quickly doing this.
Yeah, I just love doing it. I can't help it. I mean.
Now, do you have kids?
What's that?
You have kids?
Yeah, I've got a 4-year-old daughter. I spend a lot of time with her. I mean, I'm home all the time, so I mean, she's always keeping me busy. But you know, it just feels like because I'm watching her too, taking care of her, bringing her along everywhere, I get to spend a lot of time with her. A and B, plus I'm also taking care of her, so it feels like it's kind of hard to stay focused on the eBay thing. So I usually end up, you know, waking up in the morning, checking my sales. I start shipping. This week I've been doing this show, and then after I get off of here, I'm gonna go finish. I've got 10 things to ship out, and then I'll probably get my 10 listings in, and from there, who knows? Tonight, let's see what's going on tonight. My hobby is jiu-jitsu. Like, that's the thing that I do on the side. Usually spend the weekends doing that. I try to get to tournaments whenever I can do those, seminars, stuff like that. So that keeps me really busy, and that really gets my mind off of eBay the whole time I'm on the mat. So that's kind of the way that I keep myself from getting burned out.
Yeah, like for me, Friday, I'm going to 2 estate sales, and then after that night, you know, it's all play. But for me, I'm going out fishing for the whole night. You know, last time I went out fishing, I caught 4 redfish. So hopefully to do some more of that, man. I think if you have hobbies, it kind of keeps you grounded. It keeps you from really overdoing yourself in this business. It's fun to have hobbies too, and also having your regular life too, because you can actually make it work, where you can do it full time, and you can still have hobbies, and you can still hang out with the family.
It's really important, though, like you said, to keep a schedule. I mean, I've got my days where I go to this area of town, then I've got my days where I go to this area, and I kind of make everything work together. You know, like Saturday when I go to my gym down in the other end of town, there's like 3 thrift stores and a huge game store that I always stop at on my way home, and I always get to load up. Plus it's Saturday, so the Goodwills here, every other Saturday they do a half off sale, and the weeks that they don't do a half off sale, they do a 99-cent sale on everything that was half off during the week.
You're so lucky, dude. Our Goodwills down here, they only do like the color of the week. They don't do no half off crap. Never ever do they do that.
Well, the only reason they have to, like, if you go to my thrift stores, my Goodwills at any time of the day, there's a line of cars waiting to donate, and they've got bins and bins of stuff just sitting outside because they don't have room for it in the back room. There's just so much stuff getting donated around here that they have to blow through it, and the only way they can blow through it is just to really drop the price.
Where do you live?
Colorado.
Oh, okay. By Denver?
Yeah, I'm close to Denver.
I have a buddy that lives in Denver I've known for like 8 years from playing on Xbox.
Oh, nice. You play on Xbox, huh?
Yeah, dude. I've been waiting to get your gamer tag, man, because I'm waiting for the new Call of Duty to come out too. I just bought in a few games and stuff like that. That's a good thing about having eBay too and PayPal is that whenever I want now, I can just go on and download the game full price or whatever on Xbox Live because they take PayPal too. So it's like.
That can get dangerous, though.
It does, dude. It really does, man.
I was playing a game for a while, and it was a free-to-play game, but I was like totally addicted to it. And you could buy stuff in the game, and I got to the point where it was like, oh, it's only $1.99 for this. It's only $3 for that. It's only $5. It's only $1. And then next thing you know, I look at all the little microtransaction I did over the week, and it's like, damn, I spent $60 on this game this week. What am I thinking? Yeah,
my buddy, my uncle I play with, right? He plays this game, World of Tanks.
Yeah.
And he's always like, oh, because I'm still on like a level 4. He's on like a level 8. And whenever we get in a room, it's like people that are double my levels, and like I can never kill anybody. I'm always losing points instead of gaining points. And he's like, oh, go buy a tank. I go look at how much the tanks are. $30. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend $30 on a freaking tank where I barely ever play the freaking game. Are you kidding me right now?
Right.
He's like, oh, buy a tank. I'm like, I don't want to buy a tank, dude. I don't have all day to play Xbox Live anyways.
Oh, yeah. I've been staying away from video games a lot lately because I was just getting to that point where it's like I would pop it in thinking, oh, I'll just play for a couple hours, and then 8 hours later it's like, man, I got to get my eBay stuff done. So
that's what that happened to me yesterday, man. I just bought NHL 15, and I'm sitting here, and of course the game was on yesterday in the afternoon because of Columbus Day. Wait, we're on Wednesday, so this was 2 days ago. It was Columbus Day, so it was at 1 o'clock. So after the game, of course, I get all pumped. I'm like, all right, let me play the video game for a little bit. I'm supposed to get some photos done. Like 3 hours later, I ended up getting back, scroll myself out in the photo room, started doing some photos, man. I was like, man, I know I should have wasted my time.
Oh yeah, I tell myself no Xbox until at least like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But
it really does get in the way. Like stuff that does sidetrack you when you're supposed to be doing your job.
That's probably the worst part about working for yourself and working at home especially is just staying focused because there are so many distractions that can keep you from just staying on track and getting the stuff that you have to get done because like if you have those days where you don't do what you need to do, then I mean those the 2 or 3 hours that you wasted playing a video game could have been like 5 or 10 or whatever listings that would have been worth $1,000. And yeah. Who knows who would have seen this stuff during the time, but it's just less stuff that you can get done. It's really important to stay on track, but it's also important not to let it consume you and do nothing else, you know what I mean?
Hey, I had a question. Did you ever post the YouTube link on the Facebook groups?
Yeah, I did it this morning.
Okay. Because I'm trying to look here so I can watch the YouTube feed also. Can you post it in the sidebar for me?
Okay. Yeah. Is there a links button on the bottom of your Hangout window? A little thing that says links in the bottom right-hand corner next to the chat box?
All I see is smiley faces.
Oh, okay. It might just be me then. I've got the link here. Yeah, there it is.
All right, awesome. I got it. I'm going to send it out into my group too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I listed it in your group a while ago, so it was at like 6 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, that's why I always bump it. Press like 0 and then delete your comment, and it'll bump it up to the first it'll like refresh the section.
Yeah, right before you came on, I made a comment that said that you were going to be here, so.
Okay.
Hi, Danica.
Miss
Good morning.
Danica.
How is everybody?
Oh, great.
Just peachy. We're all awake.
Getting
I
started.
even set my alarm early so that I could get here on time, and I was like, oh, I've got time for a shower.
Yeah, I woke up this morning at about 5 o'clock, half hour before my alarm even went off. So.
Yeah, it's rough when you have rush hour traffic in the morning between the kids and cats.
Right?
Right.
My kids aren't even up yet. They're still snoring.
Yeah.
My husband gets up at a little bit before 6 because he has to leave by like before 6:30. So I guess I need to start getting up with him again. I used to get up with him every morning and make his coffee and his protein shake.
You saw my picture yesterday, right? Hey, Danica.
What?
You saw the picture that I posted yesterday, right?
Did you not? Did you see my comments?
Probably. There were a bunch of people commenting yesterday, so I was just blowing through them. But
Oh, I said you were so sweet to get that for my boys.
Yeah. This was the only board game out of like 20 or 30 board games that I saw that was in decent shape, and this thing is like all the little pieces are in the bags, and the freaking money is still sealed, the cards are still sealed, everything.
That is awesome. Send me a link so that I can watch the auction.
Okay.
I told John about it last night. I was like, we've got to get this board game for the kids.
Yeah, we'll work something out. I'll probably just send it to you.
Yeah, you should have picked those
That's
boots
money.
up yesterday.
What's that?
You should have picked those boots up.
How much are they worth?
I mean, it really depends on condition, but they could be anywhere from $40-$50 to a few hundred.
Okay. They were kind of scuffed up.
Scuffed up's not bad as long as they're still whole.
Oh, there were no holes. It was, I mean, just a couple of scuffs that weren't even through the polish. I mean, they looked like surface marks.
Oh yeah, dude, I would have picked them up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was already dropping $140 on everything. I wasn't really stretching myself, but I try to control. I really try to keep track of how much I'm spending and like not buy those big purchases unless it's a windmill slam, like for sure.
Right.
But I don't know. I almost got them.
I'll have to send you my number because even with Militaria, if you just want to do a quick flip, I'm always buying it. You know.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I found all kinds of stuff at that Wampay, man. Check this out. Guess what this cartridge goes to? Brand new in the box. I found an ink cartridge or a LaserJet cartridge for my printer.
That's awesome.
Paid like $1 for that thing.
You can't beat that. That's easy money.
Yeah, this was an easy one. They look pretty jacked up, but
Magic Eraser will take care of a lot of that.
no, it's through the paint or whatever.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
It just looks like dirt.
No,
They look big though.
they're worn through. Yeah, size 13, Generation 1 Air Jordans.
Wow.
That's
Are they-
awesome.
That is cool.
What's that?
They in good condition?
They're okay. There's a hole in one of the toes.
How much they usually go for?
Minimum $200.
Then I would put like whatever minimum you want. I mean, even though it has a hole in it.
Oh, they're still wearable. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. I'd still ask for money. Maybe you can go to like a shoe repair store and see what they can do. If they can patch it up or anything, what they can do.
Yeah, every shoe repair I've ever gone in, or shoe repair place that I've ever gone into, if they're not if they're not tailored shoes, they won't even touch them. But those maybe they will. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how shoe collectors go, but for the most part, when I sell anything collectible, I really don't fix it. I just let the buyer do it, because there's buyers at all levels.
Exactly.
Somebody that's just getting into shoes, they're not going to care about the hole, and they might want to fix it themselves. But if you try to fix it and screw it up, well, now you got nothing,
Especially with Nikes, that's such a huge niche that you're going to have a guy come by and pick those up because they don't have that in their collection, even though there's a hole in it. They don't care.
Right, yeah, he could have just started collecting 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And $200 is in his price range. He might not be able to afford the $800 pair of mint ones,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that just from all the different stuff I've collected over the years. I mean, I just sold a comic book for $10 that was just, it was pretty trashed. But, I mean, the guy, it was a kind of a rare comic book, you know, and it was something that if they're willing to pay. I've sold, like, magic cards. Oh, my God, I've sold magic cards that are, you can't even play with them because they're in such bad shape, but people will still buy them and pay hundreds of dollars for them because it's that card and it's the actual card, you know?
Right. Well, for anybody that's collected, I know me included, you know, when you start collecting, you get in that buy frenzy where you scoop up everything you can. You don't care what condition it's in, you know. And then you get a year into it, and then you start selling off all that junk you bought to start.
Exactly. And when you sell something that's really, or when you see something that's really rare, but it's going to cost you $1,000 to get it, and then you see, like, the item that you want, but it's not in good condition, you'll still pay $200, $300 for it.
Right, just to say you have it.
Exactly.
It's funny you guys talk about that. I just sold 2 items last night, one this morning, one last night, that I really didn't want to sell, so I priced both of them high because I loved having it in my clothing collection. One was a 1942 Letterman sweater, Maryland Letterman sweater, and I bought them both at the same estate sale, and they're in my estate sale video, and I got $150 for them, and that was like $50 more than anybody else was in the last 30 days sold for a Letterman sweater. So I got $150 and everybody else was getting $100, and then
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, that's another thing, too. If you get, like, one of those really rare items and it's not even, like, if it's in such good condition, so much better condition than what everybody else is selling it for, then you can basically set your own price.
I've done that in a few items.
Yeah, you can always go down. You can never go up.
Yeah. And then the other one I sold was the Lebowski sweater last night for $400. Everybody's been selling them for like $250, and we had it listed for $400 and sold it $500. And we sold it for $400.
Yeah, those Lebowski sweaters are definitely a bolo. I don't know if I could sell one. If I found one that fit me, I don't know if I could sell it.
And that's what I'm saying, dude. I thought I priced it high enough where, like, we priced it high enough where it's like, it doesn't, you know, people wouldn't buy it. But again, that takes that one person to come look at your item that'll snatch it up and buy it buy it.
Oh yeah, well that's another thing that I do. Like if I've got an item that I want, like especially with video games, I like playing a lot of old vintage games, you know, old PS1 games and old Super Nintendo games.
This one, you're not opening another one now.
I'll look at the price, what it's going for, and if I kind of want to keep it, I'll just price it $50 higher than everybody else is selling it for. And then if I sell it, which usually ends up happening, I'll just buy another copy and relist that again for way overpriced. And then eventually it'll sell, and then I'll have I just always have my copy of the games that I want that way. And you still make money too. So, I mean, if you're a collector, that's just, yeah, every once in a while you're going to get that item that is just irreplaceable, but if it's not an irreplaceable item, sometimes it's worth it to sell it and then list it for way more than it's worth. And then when somebody finally does buy it, just go and buy whatever it is the item is at market price again, and you know.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean, value is always set by the buyer. You know.
Mm-hmm.
As a seller, you can ask whatever you want, but it's all in what somebody's willing to buy, you know, pay to purchase it. So if you set a high price and that's what they're willing to pay, then that's the market on it, you know?
Right. Yeah, like old Nintendo games especially. Man, I've got Nintendo games that sell for $10 all day. But if you get it in the box with the wrapper, original, brand new, sealed, some of those games can be worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Right. Especially if you get some of those competition cartridges.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know I had this game called Ice Climbers. I mean, this is like a nothing, never even heard of it. I look it up, and brand new sealed, this thing sells for $20,000. But I mean, you got to get it graded to get those kind of prices. But they're still you can get those prices.
It's just crazy to think that they grade video games, you know?
I know. Yeah, they'll grade anything, man. If it's collectible, then somebody will grade it. You can pay them and they'll do it. But you just gotta know what you gotta know. You gotta be really careful about who is grading your stuff. I mean, it's gotta be a really reputable grading service, because there are a lot of these services that go out of business because they just do shady stuff, or they're not accurate, they're not consistent. And I mean, if you get your stuff graded by the wrong person, you pay them to do it, then a year later you find out, oh, they went out of business because they weren't doing it right. Now you got to get it graded again. But
Right.
I know in the coin world I know a lot of guys, they'll buy a graded coin, they'll crack it open, and then they'll send it back to the same grader hoping for a higher grade. And they'll just keep sending the coin back until they get that, MS90 or whatever. I don't even remember what the grades are anymore. It's been so long.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. There's a whole forum site dedicated on how to fraud people with all that graded stuff.
Yeah.
On how to defraud people?
On how to fraud people. Yeah.
Oh.
How to
crack them open and replace them with lower grade and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Why? I so do not understand. I guess I'm not a criminal. I mean, I just can't understand. You know what? I don't understand how you could do that to somebody.
Well,
I could not.
Do it every day.
In my main field in military,
like
the fakes and the reproductions being sold as originals is so rampant. That's why I have a forum so new people can come on and see what the fakes are being sold on eBay and stuff, because we'll sit there and watch auctions and the thing is a complete 10-cent fake and it'll go for $2,000.
I could not do that to people.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there that do it in the military world, and it just creates a minefield, because the more fakes you get out there and the better they are, the harder it is to prove you have an original.
That would just make me feel like, I would feel like crap on the sidewalk, Well,
the repercussions from that is that companies like eBay go after the sellers and restrict all kinds of extra stuff on them and make it harder for them to sell, when there's a lot of good sellers out there that wouldn't do that.
Right.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. And I don't know, I'm sure everybody's heard the story of that guy on Amazon who had one of the largest media companies on Amazon, and he had over 10,000 items at FBA, and then they found one counterfeit DVD that he says he was doing the thing where, what do they call that when they put all the new stuff in one lot and they just pull from that lot whenever somebody orders one?
Commingled.
Yeah. He said he was commingling, but
that was his biggest mistake right there. Don't ever do commingled inventory.
Yeah, my first shipment they had automatically set it to commingling on me.
Yeah, a lot of things are automatically set to commingle, and you have to check each and every item to make sure you're not in commingled inventory, because, like we were just talking about, some people don't care.
Yeah.
They couldn't care less, and you'll get the ding.
Yeah. Well, you can go into your settings and turn commingling off for everything.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, that's what I did when I set my account up.
Yeah. They got my first. I have 2 items that are commingled. Both of those items are so freaking obscure and rare. I mean, there's no way that anybody would A, fake them, or B, I'm probably the only one that has one in FBA anyway, so it's no big deal.
I had something still pop up as set to commingle, even with my settings changed and everything. That's why I say check every single thing to make sure that there is no commingled.
Yeah. Yeah. So, none of you guys ever even have WAMPAs near you, do you?
It's
I've
an
never
hour
even
and a half
heard
away.
about it until I started watching YouTube.
Oh yeah. So none of you have done it before?
I want to go. I'll have to go on a Friday. That's the only thing. John takes my car during the week because his big truck gets 4 miles to the gallon.
Okay.
But it's an hour and a half away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's That's
But
a
I need to go to one just because.
It's an experience. Wear gloves for sure. Wear gloves. I almost took my hand out. I got there, I didn't have any gloves. And the first thing that I found, well, one of the first things that I found when I was digging was this like heavy duty mechanics glove with like armored fingers and stuff.
Nice.
And so I was like, yeah, okay. And I put it on and it fit perfect. So I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to wear this. And as I was digging around at one point, I like ran my hand into this, it was like a iron metal plasma cut piece of artwork. It was like this big heavy, it was almost like a manhole cover or something that somebody had plasma cut some shapes out of and tried to make some kind of artwork out of. And it was all like really rigid. It was nasty, man. But if I wouldn't have been wearing that glove, I probably would have lost a chunk of my hand because it was.
You would think they couldn't do that.
What's that?
You would think that they would be smarter. Don't put pokey crap in the bin.
At a place like that, they probably just don't care.
Oh, they don't. And there's so much glass and stuff that gets broken. I mean, they sell glassware there. I mean, if you get a broken plate or something and it's underneath a shirt and you're moving the shirt out of the way and you get stuck, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I have like a list. I put together a list of the kit that I need to take with me.
Yeah.
Just watching people's videos.
Yeah, the gloves are probably the most important part. I mean, I was there for 4 hours, and it felt like a regular thrift store haul to me, except it was a lot more fun because I love to dig.
Yeah, I love digging through stuff.
Yeah.
Do they got a website with like a locator or anything?
A locator. I just get on Google Maps on my phone and type in Goodwill, and then the outlets come up.
For mine, it's by I typed in Goodwill outlet, and there was a site for just that region, for my region, that told me the outlets and the weigh and pay.
Right. I mean, it's pretty easy just to Google Goodwill outlet, and all your stuff should show up.
Yeah.
So that's who runs the weigh and pay is Google, or I mean Goodwill.
Goodwill, yeah.
It's Goodwill outlets.
Yeah, it is amazing how much stuff you can find there. Like, actually, as I was driving away from the weigh and pay, I noticed like 2 different shops that were open nearby. That they were like, one of them was called like Rare Finds, and there were a couple like used office supply stores. I mean, I know those guys have to be in there every day just finding inventory, and
oh, no doubt.
That's such a good idea. I mean, when I decide to go out there and actually find a warehouse or something, I think that might be the area that I look at, because I mean, on my first day, all the stuff that I found, I'm easily gonna bring in. I mean, I spent $140. Man, it's not gonna be hard for me to break 1,500 with what I picked up. I don't think.
Yeah, you're gonna do awesome.
Lots of $60, $70, $80 items all day.
That's good, man.
Oh. Here's a question. My in-laws moved to Florida. So she gave me the little slip-on things that you put on the bottoms of your shoes for walking on ice.
They're called like cravats or something like that.
These are, I don't know. Anyways, they're tracks for the bottoms of your shoes. Do you guys think that it would be better to wait on putting these up until the weather really breaks bad?
Are you talking about Amazon or eBay?
No, I don't think I can. I think I already tried them on Amazon and I could. It was. Let's see. But yeah, they'll have to go on eBay.
I would go ahead and put them up because if you think, I don't know if you ship international, but folks in Canada and stuff, they're already probably looking for that kind of thing.
I didn't think about Canada.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about eBay. I don't care what season it is where I'm at, because there's always somewhere. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Anywhere, I always, as soon as even if it's a winter item in summer, I'll list it. I don't care. I'll let it sit. I always have that saying, list it and forget it.
Yeah, I like to redo all my listings manually because A, I can wait until the 30 days is up and just let them sit there until I get some free listings.
Yeah.
And B, when you change the prices around and you mess around with the titles and maybe change the pictures if you decide you don't like the pictures, I can't remember what it's called, but it puts you back into the search ratings so that your stuff will come up again, get kind of blasted in front of everybody again.
It's good that you said that too, because I just switched, because I've had good to cancel on for the longest time. And I've been seeing these slumps where I'll sell stuff and then there's a few days where I won't sell anything. I'm like, man, what is going on? So finally I did it. I did the 30 days. Actually, I did a poll on my group, and a lot of people, I think like the majority of people said 30 days. So I did the 30 days, and I did that like a week and a half ago, and I've sold 7 items. Nowhere like 7 items that have been sitting there for over 7 months.
Yeah.
So I guess what it does, it takes the old stale listings, you relist them 30 days instead of good to canceled, and it pops you back up in the best match or the search rankings. And I mean, I'm seeing stuff that were sitting there since like January, February that have sold, and it's been like the last 3 days, like it's been like 4 different items. So it definitely does work.
Yeah, and hey, what's going on, James?
Morning, Paul. Morning, guys.
Morning, James.
Who's this James character?
Yeah, who is this guy? Yeah. Just harp on what you were just saying. Yeah, I just sold a Tommy Bahama jacket, some other jacket, and then a Hawaiian shirt. So they sell.
Yeah. Well,
here's
what I think happens. You know how like if you just type in eBay.com and that Windows page of auction shows up, like based on the kind of stuff that you usually look for, and how like in the bottom corner if you click on something it'll keep showing up, like you'll keep seeing all these listings like similar to what you've looked at in the past. Basically like that just keeps getting, if you have a new auction that it counts as newly listed and it's eBay sees it as new and you revamp your auctions and all that, your auction gets put in those slots and people see it and they're like, oh wow, that's cool, I'll buy that. They don't even do their research. Like I've got these CD players, and this is also if you have a niche. It's like Cassini will just blast your stuff out in front of people because they know that you're kind of like you're selling good stuff or whatever, or they like what you're doing. And so like these CD players and the little Walkman, I sell those right away all the time, and I always get like 10 or 15 bucks more than they're selling for some reason.
I was talking with Rachel she's in England. I don't know if you've seen her a few times, but she sent me a couple of threads that they were having in their eBay community. Well, here, let me share these threads with you. You're saying there is something going on with eBay. They have a switch that they can turn on and off to have your listings viewable or not. That's one thread. Because she was showing me these, and I've been reading through them, and it just shocked me. Copy and paste. And yeah, when you have a chance, just go over these threads and just go through them, and you'd be surprised at what's going on.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, I noticed it with my clothing. Like, I feel like certain types of clothing sell like that for me, and other types of clothing just sit there forever. Like
I had strange sales that have just been sitting, and now all of a sudden they're selling. Clothing, and then different geographical locations. all of a sudden now I had 3 items going international. In fact, I got 23 Barbies going to go off to party in Switzerland, today.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, like, okay, for an example, I remember this time last year I was doing a lot of Blu-ray combo packs.
Yeah.
There were a couple used video game stores in town that do DVDs, and they would get these new releases in like within a week or two of the movies being released, and I'd just buy them all because they were selling them for like 10 or 15 bucks, buy 2 get 1 free, buy 1 get 1 for $1, that kind of stuff. And so I would just stack up the Disney movies and the new releases, and then I'd take the Blu-rays and sell them, and then I'd take the DVDs and sell those separate. And I was getting like 15 bucks for the Blu-rays and 10 bucks for the DVDs, and they would sell immediately. And eventually, like, I stopped doing it because I was just finding other stuff, getting into other things, and the margins weren't that great, I mean, I'd have to turning $10 into 20 or 25 is good, but I started getting used to, paying $2 for a shirt and selling it for 30, or paying $10 for a coat and selling it for 100, or whatever. And I started focusing more on the thrift stores instead of the used game shops. And but then, like 2 or 3 months ago, I went and I just bought a bunch of new releases again and some Disney movies, and they're just still sitting here. I mean, they're not selling at all.
Yeah. I've tried the same. I have certain marketing techniques I do on certain times of the month, and to generate sales. And I've tried it out and it works. But I've noticed other times when I've attempted it, it is no change whatsoever. And it just has me thinking there is something going on with eBay where they can turn on and off a switch. I've had a certain number of sales, and at the end of the month of last month, September, I attempted the same thing, and there was no difference. I think they may have like a threshold. I believe that if you don't have a store, and they're doing a big push right now to get people to buy a store. They removed the 3 free relistings, and they're being less and less generous with the promotion. Just got that one out, but I'm thinking they're going to make a big push. And I think the people that don't have a store, they have a button they can turn off to turn off your sales.
It's not that they have a button. It's just
and those 2 articles, just take a look. And we're in England. It was proof on those.
I'll look at it later, but I know there's a thing called Cassini, and it's like their programming or whatever, and it's how the whole site works, and it like affects how your listings show up in the search rankings, and there are a lot of different factors, and I mean, Robin.
And there are different things that affect it. But,
Morning, Robin.
Who's this Robin person? Hey, Robin, how are you?
Hi, Kevin. Fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, we are live.
Yeah, we are live. Resellers Wakeup.
I'm not awake yet. I'm having my coffee.
Yeah, and figured it's got to be like 6:30, 6:45 where you're at, huh?
Actually, I woke up at about 4.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this guy wakes up before I wake up on the East Coast.
Well, we had some bears out this morning, so they were causing havoc.
Yeah.
The bears were out partying last night.
Yeah. I usually get up pretty early too. That's the only reason why I started this so early. Figure 7 or 9 o'clock Eastern is a pretty good time where everybody that wants to be on the show or watch the show can feasibly do it if they really want to, and it'll be easy for all you guys on the East Coast.
It's good because I don't start doing anything for work till around like 10 or 11 o'clock.
You sound like
Huh?
You sound like me. I have a wake up routine I've got to go through before I can freaking start working.
It's like, no, I have to wake up. Literally, I had to drop my daughter off, my girlfriend off. By the time I get back here, it's like 9 o'clock. And this morning, my daughter didn't go to school. So normally, I'll sit there and watch an episode or 2 episodes of The Walking Dead and then start listing. But lately, I've been on here with you guys the last 2 out of 3 days. So
Right on. Yeah, we appreciate you coming on, by the way. You got a great group, man. You guys, anybody that's watching, if you're not part of the Thrifting Lounge, you need to join that group. I mean, it's legit. I get so much good information from that place. I mean, he's one of the reasons why I started getting into clothing in the first place.
And honestly, that means a lot to me, man. It does, coming from people like you. I had a person last night write to me, you know, I'm trying to talk my husband into, I won't say her name, but she's trying to talk her husband into going full-time. And I say, listen, you got to make sure that this is a good point. You got to make sure your income, like this is how Brianna did it. She was a full-time teacher making like 40 or 50 grand a year. Until she started making more money consistently than her income, that's when she started going full-time and quit her job. And now, I mean, she's making like 30 grand a month. So it's definitely doable. If your income starts becoming like you're making more than your regular income, then do it full time so you can do that push. You have that confidence in yourself because you already have that, you know, your income from your eBay. So you make up maybe doubling your income, you know, just by going and doing it full time instead of part time. But I told her, you know, to stay positive and do what you can do.
Yeah, that's how I did it when I started out. I did it part time. And just did it gradually. I was afforded the opportunity to the position I had. I could go down to part time, and so when eBay started picking up further and further and being more consistent, and I saw what the numbers were, and I would keep track of that. At a certain point, I thought, okay, now it is the same as a full-time position. That's when I was able to leave. But yeah, you can't just jump into quit a job today and I'm starting eBay right now. You got to have a plan. No. You have to have a plan.
And not only that, but you have to build your eBay store up. Like when you first start out, you're going to have 10 listings a month, I think, that you can do. And that's a good start just to get a feel, especially if you don't have a customer service background or a sales background or, you have no idea what you're doing. It'll give you a good, just watch these videos, watch YouTube, watch the shows, get in the Facebook groups, and get a really good idea of what you need to do for like how to ship stuff and what works and what doesn't, and do your 10 listings, see how it goes. But I mean, after a couple of months of that, you're slowly going to start to build up. And I think when I started selling, it was about 2 years ago. I mean, I've been on eBay since '99, and I've always sold just little stuff. There was a time where, I mean, I was working at a gas station, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, and when I wasn't at work, I would be online playing online video games, and I started making so much like gold and items and stuff in the games that I would take that stuff and put it on eBay, and I mean I was making a couple $100 a week doing that, and I had an apartment with 2 roommates, so it was really pretty good money for me at the time. But
with people starting out, another good group that is out there is called Pickers University. It has a lot of information about starting out on eBay and other platforms. And Tina Lambert's group is a great place to learn, especially for new people. And I learned a lot of things too. It's a great place for asking questions. It's a smaller community, and it really is helpful.
Right. Yeah.
I love trying getting her on, dude. She couldn't make it because of the East Coast. Her time's like your time, so.
Yeah.
She said the house is quiet right now.
Yeah, we got to give her a little bit of time. I'm sure she'll come on eventually.
Oh yeah, she's awesome like that.
Yeah, at 6 a.m., man, you can't expect somebody to just be like, oh yeah, let me come on your live show that you told me about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she wakes up early and she does do a lot of things, but she gets all of her stuff done in the morning. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement. I tell people all the time, you're not gonna, make full-time wages overnight. It just doesn't happen like that. And even me, I have a guy that works for me, but I still work 2 shifts on the weekend because it's hard to, find a $20 an hour job. So why give it up just in case? So I have that little bit of regular pay 2 days a week, and then the other 5 days I get to hang out with the kids and concentrate on this and a couple other ventures I got.
Yeah, I've got some other ventures myself. I mean, like
I could walk away from the weekend gig and I'd be just fine. I don't have to have it. But, you know, if I have a bad month or something, I can increase my hours a couple of days that 1 week and make up for it, you know, because no matter what, you're always going to have bad months. It's never going to be good 12 months out of the year, you know.
And
so
that's another reason why to do it on multiple platforms.
If you don't have to give up a good paying job, then don't. Just keep going at this, and if it grows too big, hire somebody, you know.
Yep. Move into a place, do whatever you got to do. I'm already thinking about I really, really, really need to get into a bigger space, get this stuff out of my house and have a work area that, like some kind of warehouse or something.
Look around, man. The one house I have is 1,000 square feet, and it's only $290 a month, and it's fully insulated with a big, 14-foot roll-up door.
Nice.
You know, so the stuff's out there. You just gotta look around. You know, and $290 a month is not that bad for 1,000 square feet of storage. You know.
It's funny. Yeah, I'm looking into getting an antique booth right now. It's like an 8x12. And it's an upstart. It's like, but they're like already 80% capacity. It's a 20,000 square foot building, and it's in a really busy what is it called? Shopping mall where I live. And they said that they've been doing a lot of the advertisement, and it's really nice and clean, and there's cameras. Because that's one thing I asked somebody is like, what should I look for? Make sure there's cameras everywhere in the estate. I mean, in the antique mall, because you don't want anybody stealing stuff. And
insurance, man, that's the best thing you can have. Cameras don't mean shit. You need insurance. Cover your property.
You mean make sure that they have their stuff insured? I mean, sure that
you got to insure it yourself. You can insure it as a business from theft, because it doesn't matter. I've had people go in there and cut locks off of cases and steal thousands of dollars and stuff. Yeah, it's not the shop's fault. They can't follow everybody around, because I'm in a mall that's like 35,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And 2 floors. They can't watch everybody. But as long as you have insurance, I don't lose out. You keep receipts of what you got in the mall, and if you have a theft, you report it to the police and file a claim.
How much is the insurance, though? I've never done any of that.
Well, mine's through USAA, which is pretty cheap, so it's only like $30 a month, and I have $500,000 in coverage.
Okay. Man, that's not bad at all.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Morning. Yeah, I don't like being on shows this early. I usually get the kids off to school and go back to bed, because I'm more of a night owl. But
yeah. Well, that's what I figured, but I really appreciate it. I know you've always got some good stuff to. Yeah, I hit up my first weigh-in pay yesterday. Mostly your inspiration and a couple other guys. But did you see that picture that I posted in the Resellers Society?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, great.
I'm gonna start my day off with my green water.
Yeah, I gotta go make a kale shake after I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
That pressed out of
Morning, Dave. What is that? Kale?
Out of the juicer?
No, this is actually a water. It's just a regular water, but I got this powder for it because sometimes I don't have time sometimes just to make a juice in the day, But you just put a scoop of powder inside there, and it's basically got like barley and wheatgrass and I don't know, probably kale powder,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But
I gotta start getting back into juice. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, as far as those antique booths go, though, the insurance and everything, that's always probably good to have insurance anyway. If you've got a lot of inventory. I mean, but
well, here in California, the booths that we have, they are bonded. They have to be bonded, and you are protected. And that's part of signing a contract with a location. Well, for here in California, at least, I make sure that they are bonded, they are insured, and everything on my property is covered.
Right. See, here they didn't, and in Texas they didn't have to. It was always in the contract. You had to provide your own insurance.
Yeah, there are actually 4 or 5 big antique malls within a few miles of my house. I've got this place that is huge. It's right off the interstate. I mean, it's the size of a Walmart. And I mean, you can rent out booths in there the size of like a regular store, and all the way down to like a little shelf. So I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. It's a lot of work, and I mean I'm so busy anyway that I don't know if I want to get into that so much. I mean, I've got enough places where I can just go and sell it directly to the guy who's going to resell it again, and double or triple my money. And like if I've got a box of Polaroids and an old typewriter and just some like a record player or whatever, and I paid $20 for everything, and he's going to give me $100 for it, and he's going to sit on it for 6 months to sell it at the value, then I'm okay with that. Go with it anymore.
Sorry for the noise. I'm gonna send off some Barbies to Switzerland.
Yeah, this is a working hangout, so looks like we're into it for the first hour. This is a working hangout, guys. This is typical of what you're going to see if you're going to see those little hangout links on the groups, and probably wondered what they were. Maybe you too embarrassed to come in. Maybe you don't have a camera or a microphone or whatever. There's a little chat bar on the side, so even if you don't have a mic or a camera, you can always click on those hangouts, and as long as it's not full, you can go in and just ask questions or kind of see what everybody else is doing. But this is what we do in the hangouts mostly. We're going to be busy hacking stuff up and listing stuff and just talking about stuff, trying to figure out ways to improve our own businesses or helping other people improve theirs. I mean, these hangouts are what got me started on Amazon, and and I'm telling you, Amazon has been great for me. I'm not even into my first 30 days yet, and I've already done like 1,300 in sales, I think. It might be higher. I didn't even check it this morning. But I mean, that was just sending books and stuff that I had around the house. I think I did one day retail arbitrage where I walked into a Walmart and I cleared the shelf of a few clearance items, and then I got them home and I found out that it was all health and beauty and grocery, and I couldn't sell them on Amazon, but I listed that stuff on eBay, and it's all selling. I've already made my money back on that, and the stuff that I could send into Amazon has been doing really well. So
yeah, I've been selling the crap out of banana Twinkies on eBay.
Yeah, I need to get approved for grocery and health and beauty to really start to do the retail arbitrage. But I mean, just what I've been finding at thrift stores. Anytime I see something that's new in the package, it's got a barcode, I'll just scan it and throw it up on Amazon, and the stuff's been selling. So I only have like 300 items in my inventory so far, and it's just boom, boom, boom. You just got to keep feeding the beast. Once a week, I've been getting a shipment out.
I'll give you a little bolo on Amazon. I sent in a Halloween costume, and it's already sold and shipped out. As soon as it got there to the plant, it was sold and shipped.
Nice. Yeah, I've been staying away from the Halloween stuff. I don't like to. That is seasonal. I mean, we were talking earlier about how you can buy, winter jackets and list them any time of year and they'll sell. But when you get into like Halloween costumes, unless it's a really high quality mask or something that's worth a lot, I try and stay away just because I don't want to have stuff that sits around until 1 month out of the year or people start to buy it.
Yeah.
I did pick up a few things at the YMP yesterday, though, just because those Halloween costumes are so lightweight. I mean, you throw it in the cart, and it doesn't even matter. I mean, you're paying 5 cents for it. So, that kind of
I just sold one of my kids' old costumes for 40-something.
Wow, that's awesome. So how's this month been for you, Gilldaddy? Typical fare, or?
To be honest with you, I mean, we just started doing eBay again like 2 days ago. After that competition, I needed a break, man. But as far as our Amazon, I mean, that's why I took a break, because we got our private label stuff going, and then of course we got our other account with all the stuff we send in. And I mean, so far this month, our private label's been doing about 500 a day in sales. So that's just freaking phenomenal.
That's
you know,
awesome.
I'm really happy about that.
Yeah,
But
I've been thinking about the private label, maybe trying to get something going with that. It's a work in progress for sure. I want to get everything else going first. But as for your eBay store, what blew me away about your sales during that challenge was, I mean, you had like 200 items in your store, and you were doing numbers that were just like good money numbers. I mean, are you doing a lot of auctions, or do you do a lot of fixed price? I mean, do you usually just blow it out? How do you blow it out so fast?
it's all by it now. And I always tell people this. It's basically the kind of items that we sell. You know, I mean, people watch our videos, they see the kinds of items we sell. You know, I don't know, like this morning, I mean, just since I've been on here, I sold a serger for $170 on eBay just now. But it's around 200 items. I can pretty much guess that I'll do between $6,000 and $8,000 a month if I maintain 200 items constantly. If that drops down to about 100, I'm going to drop probably $3,000, you know, for the month. Now, when we consistently maintain like 300 to 400 items, 400 items being like the max, we'll consistently do between, I'd say, $8,000 to $10,000 or so a month in sales on eBay, just on eBay. Right. But it's just the types of items. You know, we're not selling shoes, we're not selling clothes. It's just fast-moving items, electronics, kitchen parts, cords, remotes. I mean, you see all the stuff back here. I got all kinds of stuff.
Right. How many items do you think you list a day when you're making those kind of numbers?
When we're doing $8,000 to $10,000 a month, we're consistently listing, I would say, between 20 and 40 items a day, 5 days a week. So we're working it every single day on eBay to keep that, because the items are moving so fast. I can't just take 4 or 5 days off, you know, because then my items will dip down quite a bit.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, watching your videos definitely helped me a lot. I think I've still priced my stuff a little too high because it does move kind of slow. I mean, I'm at 600 items right now. I usually maintain 500 to 600, and you know, I'm probably doing like $5,000 to $6,000 a month. A little higher than that some months. And then with Amazon too, now I'm kind of like at a place where I'm not comfortable yet, but I'm making enough to get by. But I feel like I got plenty of room to grow, and especially when I start growing Amazon. I mean, all the information that you and Andrew and a couple of other guys from these hangouts that are like Picker Army helped me a lot when we were getting started. I mean, these hangouts have been awesome, but the YouTube videos were really great too. These hangouts are more of a place where you can go and hash stuff out that you've seen on the YouTube videos. You know, like somebody else watched the same video, and now maybe you have some questions, they can just answer them on the spot. You know, so
Did you see like my bolo list that I put out in the Reseller Society?
Definitely. It's, man.
The PDF file, yeah.
You know how much stuff I picked up over just the last 2 or 3 days since I watched that bolo list?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
now, I mean that just scratches the surface, but those are a lot of the types of items that we sell. You know, you notice there's a lot of vacuum parts too. I'd probably say within the last 8 months or so, we've really started like just noticing all these vacuum cleaner parts that you can get 40, 50, 60. Some of them, some vacuum cleaner heads, you'll get $150 out of just a vacuum cleaner head, and that's usually like your rainbow heads, your filter queen heads, and there's another one too, something star, I forget, but I know when I see them.
I got a couple of Bissell Power Deluxe cleaners, like the big Bissell steamers yesterday.
Big greens?
Yeah, they were, I don't even know. I mean, they're lightweight, you know, 80 cents a pound. Those are pretty good to part out, right?
Yeah, man, those things, those are kind of, I mean, here, I don't want people here knowing about them.
Oh,
because,
sorry.
No, I mean, in my area, I don't care. I tell people on the videos and stuff about them, but
yeah,
like, there's like a little soap tube that seriously, when you wrap it up, it's like maybe that big, a little tiny soap tube. You can sell that soap tube for like $30. Just a little tiny clear tube.
Wow.
I mean, the hoses you usually sit on for, I don't know, a month or so, but if you price them around $25, $20 to $30 really, you'll end up getting that. The handles, just the handles on those things, you'll get about $35 to $40 for just the plastic handles. The wands, I don't usually mess with the wands because they sit forever. You eventually sell them for around $15, but they sit forever, so I don't even mess with those. But and then, of course, your plastic heads, those clear plastic heads, you get around $35, $40 for those. So if you find a big green and you can pay, even at a thrift store, if you can pay $15, $20 for it, it's still worth it because when you part all that stuff out, you'll throw most of it away or recycle or whatever you want to do with it, but I mean, you'll get $80 to $100 or so, maybe a little more out of all the parts.
Yeah. Well, what blew me away, I was actually in line. It was my first lineup where they roll the carts out and everything. And the first cart that came out was one of those Bissells. And I was just like, oh, damn, that's gone. Because as soon as I saw it, I wanted it. But I sat there, went through my stuff, or went through my cart when it came up once they said start shopping, and then everybody just walked away from it. So I went and grabbed it. And then I went to the other side of the weigh and pay, and there was another one sitting there. I was like, okay.
I mean, you find things out all the time, though. I mean, just recently, I've been getting Bissell parts for quite a while now, but just recently, my neighbor, he does what we do now full-time, and he was like, oh, do you get the clips? And I'm like, what clips? And he's talking about the clips that latch the top of the motors down.
Mm-hmm.
They're just clips. He's like, oh, yeah, you could sell the clips. And I'm like, I never even thought about that. He said, yeah, you can get like $15, $20 out of just the clips on the freaking Bissells. And I was like, wow, that's just insane.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this is
Plastic
one of the
clips.
cool things that I found. They're trashed, but they're like first generation Air Jordans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is like one of the very first pairs. I mean, like I said, they're in bad shape. There's a hole in the toe, but they're wearable. These things got to be worth. I was looking them up. The cheapest ones I saw were better conditioned than these, but they were going for like $300.
Wow.
Yeah, those are probably worse than anything I saw on eBay, but they're good enough. I think that they'll probably go for like $200 or $300.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that was just sitting there. I mean, people just passed it over.
That's what I like, especially if you're outlet shopping or even thrift store shopping, really anywhere, you know. I see a lot of people give up because they go, well, I don't have an outlet. And I know I've said that in my videos before, but you don't have to have an outlet. I think it's not, you can focus all day long about these items that you never see. You know, that maybe once in a great while you'll be lucky enough to find them because everybody else is looking for these really high dollar items. But it's things like Bissell Big Greens that people may see all the time. You know, that boom, it's $100 sitting there, but everybody else passes it up, and those are the kind of things I like. I like the things that everybody think is crap, but I know I can make money off of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been observing a lot more parts and pieces than I was before, and I see it all the time. I've been picking up a bunch of, they're older food processors and stuff, but I put them online. I sold a couple little extensions. I sold some blades, and for real good money for what I got into. I mean, I picked them up for hardly nothing, like pennies on the dollar, and I sold one of them blades, I think for like $9, and then the other day I sold a little extension for one of those little food processors for $17. And I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it, it was like, and it hadn't sat on there very long, like about a week, and 2 weeks it was gone. Just the simple little things that you wouldn't even think would sell, and that people are buying them right up.
Oh yeah.
That's what you buy.
As much as I like Bolo lists, as much as I like those Bolo lists, you can't just you can't just take the Bolo list, go to the thrift store, and be like, oh, don't see anything here. I mean, you've got to know your own stuff. You've got to know how to look things up. You've got to know how to use your head. I mean, you've got to know how to look at model numbers. You've got to know how to look up, it's good to know at a glance what's good and what's worth money, and you'll get to that point eventually. But I mean, if you're not sure on something, you kind of need a smartphone. I mean, I see these guys all the time walking around while I'm scanning stuff or putting stuff in, like searching for stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, I got all that stuff in my head. I don't need one of them things. Meanwhile, I walk past the shelf they just walked past and pull off like 4 or 5 things that are worth $50 to $100.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's more important to know how to use stuff than it is to use your imagination.
Well, see, that's what I do since I'm kind of in that phase to where I'm learning all that stuff, is if I see stuff that I think is worth something, I pull it off and put it in my cart, because when it's in my cart, it's mine, and then I find a place and I go look it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have to do that, too.
You can always throw it back.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Oh, I did that yesterday. I threw a bunch of stuff. When I realized that shoes were $2 a pound, I was like, oh, I don't need these, I don't need these, I don't need these. Morning, Jeff.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who.
Morning, Jeff.
Yep, feeling pretty good.
Somebody's a Whovian.
We got a couple of them in here.
Yeah, we watch it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Well, she said you don't have to, so, but I think it would just be easier. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I got some criticism many times from so-called experts, and they always say the same thing. You know, they always say, well,
It's being kind of
you know,
weird.
look at you looking stuff up, and that just shows you're not a professional.
It just kept saying that it
I mean,
couldn't connect to the software,
to me, it's like
whatever.
this. Even if you have a regular job, you know, if you have a regular job,
But
do you use a car to go to work? Why do you do that?
When
Why
the
do you
system
use a car to
preferences
go to
and
work?
just applied the
Because if you
new,
walked or ride your bike, it would
like,
take
the
you
exact
a
same
lot
thing
more
that was,
time, and time is money.
Hey, Dave, hold on just a sec. Danica, mute yourself. I can't mute you because you keep, like, unmuting and muting and unmuting and muting.
Go to eBay.
Danica.
You can't hear us.
Oh, no. She muted us and not herself. Mute yourself, Danica. You're, like, coming unmuted.
I'm supposed to be.
There we go. Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
See? Good?
I think so, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, they criticize you because they say you're not an expert because you look everything up. But at the same time, I mean, you can't know everything. You know, and if you're making $4,000 a month, just going out and picking what you know, but you can pick up a phone or a smartphone and look the stuff up and make an extra $3,000 on top of that, who wouldn't do that?
I know, it's
it's all about using the tools that are available to you.
Well,
That's what makes you smart.
Think about it. Some of those people that are telling you that you're not professionals, half of them ain't making $4,000 a month in their regular job.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're lucky if they're pulling home $500 a week, making $750 a week. If they're lucky.
If you're a professional, you know you're always learning and you never stop.
Around here, the top weekly take-home pay is around $350, $400. So you know them guys ain't making much more than $550 a week, working a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, working as a slave.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you're making $4,000 a month, you're already way far ahead of them. You know?
Yeah, those guys just trip me out. It's pretty funny listening to them, and I just kind of smile and nod. You know, I get that at book sales too. You know, you get these guys, same thing. These old guys walking around. Oh, so you don't know what they're worth, huh? It's like, neither do you, obviously, because I just followed you down this list, scanning the stuff that you left behind, and it's like $10 book, $15 book, $10 book, $20 book, and I mean, I'm not a book scanner. I go for the stuff that I know is going to be worth something. I know enough about books though, where I can pick them off the shelf, but there I go. I mean, I'm sounding like those guys, you know. The guy that follows me with a real scanner and the PDA and just like goes through every single book is going to pull stuff out that I missed because of the way that I do it. So, you know, it depends.
If you know your niche, that's one thing to, you know, run through and grab all the stuff that you know has potential for value, and even then you're gonna grab some stuff that's not worth anything. But if you're outside your comfort zone, you know, why would you spend a bunch of money not knowing if you're gonna make money or not? You know.
Right.
But you
So
can't.
it's all time versus money, and I'm the same way. I scan stuff. I don't care. You know, my mother, she just started doing Amazon. She could care less. She sits right down in the book sale with a pile and starts looking them up on her phone. You know, she doesn't care either what people think about it. You know.
Right.
You know, it reminds me a lot of, you know, I read a lot of books about, you know, successful people and motivational books and stuff. It helps to motivate me. But, you know, I was reading about Henry Ford, and when they were trying to prove that he was basically an ignorant person and doesn't know what he's, you know, very unintelligent, not very school educated, which was true. You know, and he was one of the greatest, I mean, minds of all time as far as what he did with his business and company. But they basically held him on trial or something like that. They were trying to prove that he was incompetent. And they asked him a bunch of questions that maybe, like, you know, maybe somebody who's very college educated would know, you know, things that they would study. And his answer was, you know what, I can't answer, I may not be able to answer all these questions you're throwing at me. But I can push a button and I can have somebody in here that will answer them for me.
Resourceful.
So, right. So he may have not known the answer to, you know, what's the capital of this country or something, but he could press a button and have somebody in there that could do that for him. So it's about using your resources. It's not about what you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's very, like, one of the things that Albert Einstein always talked about. He's like, I don't even remember phone numbers because I'm not going to clutter my brain with that crap. I know what I know. And, you know, he was one of...
Well, it's just like having a boss. And I had a boss tell me one day, and I was a young fella, you know, working a slave job. And I used to kind of give him crap because he was kind of like one of the boys, but we used to kind of give him crap because he couldn't run the machine. But he made $100,000 a year, and he told me, he says, I don't have to run those machines. He says, because I have you to do it for me. So he's making $100,000 a year telling me how to run that machine, even though he didn't know how to run it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, he's doing what he's doing. Oh, hey, Dave, by the way, thank you. This is the second one of these I've sold in 2 weeks for $30.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, those things are awesome, man.
Oh, yeah. I just go to the digital cameras now. I dig through all the old cameras, and I check the memory card slot, and if it's there, I'll buy the whole camera, whether it works or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even these, like, these things, a lot of times you'll find, like, 2 to 4 to even 1 gig cards, and they'll sell for $10. Just the standard SD cards.
Yeah.
And they sell like that. I mean, you see them from China for like 99 cents, and it makes you not want to buy them. But
not muted, damn it.
Doesn't matter. They're gonna sell.
Oh, maybe she is muted.
Is she?
It doesn't say she's muted. Maybe did she unplug her microphone?
She might have to hop back out and hop back in because sometimes stuff like that gets real glitchy.
Yeah, she was
I've
muted.
had to do it a few times. Where like I'll put my video on like, you know, my profile pic, and then I'll come back and it won't pop out. Where I have to just leave the group and come back in.
Yeah, because it was like auto muting and then unmuting and then auto muting and unmuting.
Yeah, it was kind of like you were typing.
Hey, Cali Kicker, how's your printer doing over there?
You're muted.
It is cleaning right now. Hopefully it works. Yeah, I just had to ship out these Barbies to Switzerland.
How many Barbies were there, by the way? So I know. Were they naked Barbies or just...
Yeah, they're all naked, so they're going to go have a blast in Oktoberfest. But,
Switzerland, huh?
Yeah, 23 of them. Shipping costs $48.55. I charged them $49.99. So I did pretty well on the guesstimate on that.
Anonymous Lives has a question for us here. Will somebody tell me if a return counts as a defect on eBay? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yep.
It depends. I think they do the return as as described, but if they do it as like they change my size as a kid, it doesn't count as a defect.
Yeah, so if you can manage the person before they do anything, then it should be okay. You should be able to explain to them this is how you need to return it to me. But I mean, if you send a thing and you know it's broken or whatever when they get it, I mean that's kind of the UPS's fault, but it's kind of yours too for, not packaging it well enough. But I mean, if somebody gets something that you say it works, and they get it and they say it doesn't, and they send it back to you, then it'll be a defect against you.
Now remember, even if you do a priority, it's covered up to like insurance, like $50, or if you have insurance on it and it breaks, because it's happened to me on a mug, make sure, because a lot of people are nice about it. They're like, hey, I received it, the mug is broken. And I'll be like, dude, there's no problem. I'll send you your money ASAP. Can you just take a couple pictures for me so I can get the money through the insurance for myself? And they have no problem helping you out. It's just a line of communication they always want to be. They want to be heard.
Right. Well, I just had a guy send a message to me yesterday, and luckily he messaged me. He didn't open a case, but he said that this CD player that I sent him didn't work. And I was like, oh, okay, well, check your batteries, because he said that he would put the batteries in and it wouldn't turn on. And it's like, I know it works. I tested it. So try brand new batteries, see if that works. And he's like, comes back to me, he's like, oh, yeah, I downloaded the user's manual, and I figured it out. Like, huh. So that makes me, I'm almost tempted to just start downloading and printing out the manuals whenever I sell electronics, just because I've had that happen like 2 or 3 times in the last month, where somebody was like, what about the manual?
See, I did that with my bread makers, and I was actually figured I was able to get $10 more on each sale because I had even the instructions printed out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I think that's something I'm going to start doing with all my electronic stuff. So.
Yeah, I know it was cut off early a little bit, but when we're talking about the antique booths, I want to talk to Selena and Eric and whoever else has a antique booth. I mean, does that sound like a good price for one?
I mean, I think was it Eric's got a really reasonable size and price one. I mean, I wish I could get that around here. If I wanted that, I'd be talking way more than 150. Gosh, I got a 6x6, and it cost me 100. And there's no extra percentage. But I mean, I think it just depends on the place, and yeah, just like go on in and see how many people are walking in there and are buying stuff on a what you would think would be a slow day. That's always a good type of thing.
Right. Yeah, no, and I've had booths in Texas and North Carolina. North Carolina, it seems to be a little bit more expensive. When I was in Texas, I was in one place that was $1 a square foot plus 10% commission, and then I was in another place that was $2.50 a square foot, but there was no commission. And I mean, I cleaned house in that place because you just pay your booth rent and that's it. When I came here, I paid $1.50 a square foot and 11% commission.
See, for me here, and it's like I said, a great location. It's brand new. They opened up in August, and they've been doing a crap ton of advertising. And the lady I talked to actually knows one of my friends, Linda. She knows her personally, and I didn't know this at the time, but I do now. But it's $170 to $220, depends on the location of the booth, and a 10% fee for an 8x12.
Yeah, I mean, 10%'s not bad. I mean, it's pretty much what you spend on eBay anyways, And the difference is you can sell larger items. I sell a lot of architectural stuff, smaller furniture, like end tables. I clean houses on steamer trunks. The place that I'm in, it's 35,000 square feet, and they've been around for like two decades or something. So they have all these high-end decorators that come from like Florida, come down from New York City, and they literally buy a truckload of stuff to take back with them. So I could put pretty much any steamer trunk in there for $200, and it will sell within 60 days when one of those people come into town because they use them for decoration and everything else. So my items that are in that booth are completely different from what I sell on eBay because most of it's just too big to ship. But why pass it up in an estate sale if you can make some money on it,
Yeah, and that reminds me of going to 2 of them on Friday. So what type of items should I look for the booth? I live in Florida, right next to the coast, and I know fishing's popular over here.
Well, look around the mall you're going to go in, and look in the area malls and see what people are selling. When I sell in my booth here, was completely different from what I sold in my booth in Texas. The mall I was in there, it was much smaller, but it was part of like a complex. It was like a converted storage facility. So you had a whole lot of smaller dealers that owned spaces, and then you had malls inside of those spaces. It was pretty unique. But so the place I was in was a lot of collectibles and toys. So I sold tons and tons of smalls there. Here, the place I'm in, it's a lot of architectural stuff. It's a lot of large items. The smalls dealers don't do as well as the big ticket item dealers do. So I fill it with all my big ticket items. You know, so you got to kind of see what kind of clientele is coming into the mall, and then just fit it. You know,
What do you mean?
It's like eBay. The more you put in it, the more you'll sell.
When you say architectural stuff, do you mean like chairs, furniture, stuff like that? Like,
yeah, I mean some chairs, end tables, the steamer trunks. I mean, shelf brackets, wall hangers. You know, just oddities, things that look cool. You know, like I go out down to South Carolina and I get old hand-hewn oak beams, and I take them up to the mill, have them split it in half, call it a mantle, throw it in the booth for $400, and people buy them. You know.
What about like vintage tools? Like sometimes I'll go to like a estate sale and I'll see like old school rustic vintage tools. Like
yeah. Anything that, you know, any of that vintage stuff that somebody might want to hang on the wall of their shop or use for like restaurant decoration. You know, think Cracker Barrel, what they have hanging from the ceiling. You know, people are always looking for that stuff, especially decorators for a business, and that's where they go, is those malls, to find it, because they don't have time to go to, you know, 20 estate sales looking for, you know, some sickle to hang on the wall when they can go into a huge 20,000 plus square foot mall and find everything that they need to decorate that restaurant, you know?
I do that exact thing. Anytime I walk into a restaurant or a bar or whatever, if they've got interesting stuff on the walls, I'll look around and see what that stuff is. And I kind of make a bolo list out of that. And I mean,
you know what? And that's where they buy from, though. They go to these huge malls. And that's why I tell people, if you're going to sell in a mall, bigger the better. You know, because you're going to have more foot traffic, and that's the key to it. It's just like the difference between, you know, say selling on a website and selling on eBay. eBay has such a huge amount of traffic running to it that you're always going to sell more there than if you sold on your own website.
Yeah, I've got an antique mall, like I was saying earlier. This place is like the size of a Walmart right off the interstate.
Yeah.
Really close to my house, and I'm sure it's expensive, but I mean, you walk into that place, man, it's awesome, the stuff you can find, but everybody knows what stuff is worth, you know?
Right. Well, another thing with the mall space is if you got it, you got to either add stuff to it every week or go in and just move stuff.
Definitely. I mean,
move it around, and that way your booth never looks stagnant. Because I know when I breeze through a mall, I have some regulars that I go through. You know, if I know which booths are stagnant, I don't even bother walking in there, because that time is not worth my money to just even wander through, because they never have anything new or they never move anything around. So I never see anything new, and I don't even stop. So even if they put one new item in there, I'm not going to see it. So you want to keep people intrigued on what you got in your booth.
Right. Don't make it look like it just sits there and you never update it.
I mean, you're saying that I just had to close down one antique mall that I was running because it's only a small space and it was like a really curiosity shop, and and it just wasn't bringing in the sort of money. So definitely bigger is better for those sorts of places. I mean, you probably have no problem with that in the US, but over here you either get like small ones, but it's quite hard that you find big ones. I mean, but there's this place we've got now, the 6x6 foot. I mean, it's this guy runs like just these massive places all over England. I mean, that's the way to build a business, and he's just done it from like these old factories, like, you know, they were abandoned and that, and they had nobody in there, and he just turned it into an antique mall.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing here. There's new antique malls popping up everywhere. You know, if there's an empty warehouse, you can almost guarantee it's going to have an antique mall put in it.
It's like minimum minimum input this guy puts into it too. Just it gets it, so it's nice and clean, that sort of thing. Hopefully, health and safety put into it too. But not much really, because you've got to put up your own walls if you want that, other put walls up and that sort of thing, and you just do it yourself. But we don't have any electricity. I mean, we've got lights, but you can't plug anything in. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't have any electricity in my booth. Some of the booths have it, but he charges more for it if you get a booth with electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that he has got cabinets, but I haven't gone for it because I've had enough of that from the other one. I had to close down. I mean, I don't think people are still allotting cabinets. I don't mind putting my own ones up as long as I don't have to, pay extra for it. If it's my own going into my own space. So far they've been okay with that. But, yeah, I've had 2 small things I think nicked, and that's really bad. But there's nothing really can do about it,
Now, Selena, where are you from?
The UK.
Okay, yeah. You're used to having small spaces everywhere you go in the UK.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, if you've seen...
I love the UK, though. It's a great place.
Until you go thrifting in it, and then you change your mind. Because, you've guys got weigh and pay. We don't have anything. We don't have anything like that. We have like small shops, and then they pile on the price, and you're like, yep, very good, nope, and they just let stuff sit there for ages, and
Yeah, I always found it interesting that they don't really have much in the way of estate sales there.
No, I mean I go to auctions, but even then you've got to be careful because of how they of the prices just keep on going up, and of new people coming in, and that just makes it even go higher. So
yeah, it's still a fun place to go. I go about twice a year to see some friends.
That's cool. I got a friend in the US. I wanted to go and see her for ages now, so hopefully be saving up for that. But I mean, the place I go for stuff is auctions. My boyfriend's in Belgium, so I go over to Belgium, and I'm like, hey, can I go to your thrift shops over there, which are bigger? Most of them are, and they update quite a lot. And I go over here, and I go to flea markets. So that's why I go to my ones.
Yeah, I haven't done Belgium. I did the Netherlands in February this year.
Oh, lucky. I did ask, and he was like, you know how long it takes to drive over there? Do you know how much petrol it's going to cost? I was like, please, let's see if there isn't anything. I want to go over there. I've heard good stuff.
I had a buddy. He came from, I can't remember the city, but he lives up in Wales, and he drove over and met me in Amsterdam, and then we went up to the Netherlands.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, one of these days I want to get over to Europe, but I don't see myself doing a whole lot of sourcing while I'm over there. Just try and...
why not?
I do. One of these years I'm going to get the gall to send a shipping container back.
Go spend all...
What we think is old here is modern to them. I mean, it is just crazy the stuff you will see there and just how old it is,
There was a really good show on. It was like a European picker show. This guy owns like an architectural warehouse, auction house type thing or something. Danica, you're loud. There we go. Sorry, Danica, you were getting some really bad feedback. So I just muted you for now. But yeah, this freaking show was what was the name of it? I can't remember. But this guy was a picker in Europe, and he would just go around to all these old estates and buy all their old stuff, and I mean, some of the stuff that was showing up on that show was just like, holy cow.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah, I usually bring a bunch of smalls back because I just want to bring it back in my suitcase. But
I mean, that's why you got to
one of
do
these
it.
times, I'm going to send a shipping container home.
That would be so cool. Like, I mean, I really want to learn how to drive on the other side of the road to do that. I mean, I'm just started learning how to drive over here. But I really want to drive on the other side of the road and just take a long trip, like, and just pile up, you know, with everything good, like small furniture, stuff that I, you know, couldn't get before, you know, because it's like a real pain when you see something nice and you really want it. You really want it. You know you're going to do good on it, and you can't get it in your suitcase. It's just like murder. It's like, I want it. Why can I not have it?
With the weigh and pay yesterday, even. I mean, you buy all this stuff, and a lot of the money stuff is huge, you know, and you run out of space so fast. Like right now, man, I've got so much stuff that I need to move, and I can't really.
You got more space than me, but
I
just got
a decent sized house, so it's not like I'm running out of space. But you get to that point where you're just like, you're trying to find stuff that, you know, you put up a couple months ago, and it's like, oh crap, where did I put that? And you know.
Yeah, that's how I ended up with the warehouse and stuff. Is it gets to a point you have to put some sort of systematic system in place.
Exactly.
You know, like you see, you know, like Gilldaddy with his system. You know, that's pretty good because, you know, it helps with finding things. You know, because you get to a point, if you don't get some sort of system in place, man, you spend half your day looking for items and don't get the other half shipped out. You know.
Yeah, well, I don't have any problem finding stuff. I always find it really fast. I'm one of those people, I just remember where I put stuff, as long as nobody messes with it.
Right.
When my wife starts cleaning, that's when I start losing stuff. But, I mean, my biggest problem is,
you know, like if my guy doesn't come in and can't get it shipped, or if I'm sick and the wife needs to do it, you know, she's not really involved in it, but she can look at the inventory number and walk over to the shelf and get the items out and send them, you know.
Right. Yeah, my wife would be completely lost. She doesn't even, I don't even know if she knows how to turn eBay on.
Right.
She's never bought anything off of eBay. But my biggest problem is when I break stuff down. You know, it's like you sell this part, this part, this part, but you still have these parts that it's like, man, they're going to sell eventually. Do I keep them or do I just toss them? And usually I end up sitting on them, and that's the stuff that's like, that's the stuff that's piling up, you know, especially like
Ziploc containers, man. Just go to the store and buy the store brand ones now. They're cheap.
Ziploc containers, right?
Yep. I put all my smalls into Ziploc containers. I do a lot of military insignia, so I break them down like 50 items to a small Ziploc, and then I could put like 15 of those into a banker's box. So if my banker's box is labeled, my containers are labeled, and then each of the baggies with the item with the insignia in it's labeled, and that's how my inventories broke down.
Yeah.
So you just keep adding banker's boxes. You know, some of them got photos, and you know, it's just been the easiest way for me is using the banker's boxes.
Yeah, I've got just a couple of shelves. I mean, most of my stuff is smalls. I don't have a whole lot of stuff that takes up a lot of space. I've got a shelf for all my board games. I got shelves for my DVDs and video games. All the video games, as they fall off of eBay this month, I'm going to start sending them off to Amazon just because they do a lot better there, it seems like. And the side effect of that is my eBay sales have been slowing down because I haven't been listing my video games there, and that's like my main niche, and that's where most of my money comes from on eBay, is just, you know, selling tons of video games because people buy those so fast. It's a really, really good. If you know what you've got, if you know how to describe the stuff and take pictures, you can really do a lot and do a lot of business with those. But now I'm trying to move all the stuff I'm not used to.
You know, this is what I have. You know, here's my A box. See if I can get it focused in.
Yeah.
There we go. So, yeah, I have the A box, and then inside the A box, you know, I have my Ziploc. Well, my Ziploc knockoff. Because why pay full price, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then inside the Ziploc knockoff, I have my individual bags with their numbers on it with the insignia.
Okay.
So, and then all my inventory numbers listed on eBay. So, that one would be, inventory would be A, and then it'd be just 1, and then this one is 17, so it'd be 017. And this way, especially with these, I only have to sort through this little amount to find that one piece.
Where do you put your inventory number on your eBay listing?
I put it in the, that little item condition.
Uh-huh.
I just type it in the beginning of it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't found a better system yet.
Where do you put yours, Jeff?
When you see all your listings, where you can click actions, say add note. So I just add right there, and then it shows up there in your listings when it's sold, and it's highlighted in yellow. So it makes it really easy to find.
Oh, and it's something that the buyer doesn't see?
Yeah, the buyer doesn't see it at all. Only you see it.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Because hey, I'm always still learning,
I've been doing that lately because I got bins around here, and each bin is 1A, 1B, 1C, and so I just put that in the note. It's highlighted. So
Nice.
my sold, it goes right there where to find it.
Yeah, and see, and then, like with my patches and stuff.
Yeah, if you're doing those little tiny small little patches and metals and ribbons and stuff like that, I could definitely see why you would need a really good inventory system. Like all my stuff, when I say smalls, I mean like a video game cartridge or a DVD, I mean it's stuff that you don't really have to inventory that much. I just glance at myself and I know where it's at.
Right, yeah, smalls is tough, and it takes a minute for me to figure out systems, but, like this is my binder for patches. So, I'll have it listed as, because it's a patch, I know it's a binder, so my inventory number will correspond with my binders. So this is binder 1.
Okay.
And then inside of it, I just got the 4 pages, and then, each binder is listed 1 to 100 with the patches inside. And it's the same thing. I just put that number in the listing, and then I know which patch to look for. Because it can get real tough, especially when you have a whole bunch that are alike, trying to figure out which one you need to ship out,
Yeah. Well, when I used to do these little miniatures, they're like little metal figurines that people use to play like board games and stuff. Well, not board games, but like tactical war games, where you have like big armies of these little tiny miniatures.
You mean? And which ones you mean about? Like Warhammer?
Yes,
that sort of
Warhammer.
thing? Yeah.
I used to be big into Warhammer. I still have a whole shelf with like 3 armies on it that I am gonna eventually list, but it takes a lot of time to do those. But yeah, like that's when I was doing those a lot. What I would do is just make a note inside of the bag with the actual title of the listing, so that I would know. That was my inventory system at the time. But I didn't do so much that I had to have that. I didn't have 1,000 listings up. I had 50 at a time.
Right.
One little bag.
And then this is how I do all my my tin types and my CDVs, because they're smaller. I just have the PB1, and then every page is just listed 1 through 9, and then they're alphabetized with the tabs. And it's the same thing. So, you just have tab B, photo 9. Because these can get real difficult trying to figure out which photo you got to try to ship out, because there's so many that are different.
I can see that.
Yeah,
yeah, when you get into photos,
on tin types, photos can be great profit margins.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When you get into photos too, you in order to make any decent money on them, you have to have a lot up. You have to have thousands up. But there's huge profit. It's kind of one of those long tail items where there's huge profit, but a lot of them can take a while to sell.
Right.
Yeah, you've got to have 1,000 of them up, and if you're selling them at a decent profit, then you're selling 1 or 2 a day. And
right.
When you have 1,000 of them listed, right? I mean, is that about what you would say, Eric?
Yeah, I probably sell about 300 photos a month.
And what's your average price per photo that you get?
Anywhere from 4 to 20.
Okay.
I probably have like maybe 100 of them that are over $50.
Okay.
Lately, I've been doing press photos. I picked up a box of them, I don't know, a couple thousand of them for like $100 a couple years ago, and I'd finally just got them all listed, and I didn't even have time to research them, so I just put them all on at $4, and half of them are gone in like 60 days already.
Oh
And
wow, that's
I'll
awesome.
probably sell some more for another month or two, and then I'll just take them down and sell them as a lot.
Oh nice. Yeah, I keep thinking about getting into photos, but I don't do any estate sales. I do mostly garage sales and
Well, these originally came out of an estate. There was some guy that worked in the industry back in the 70s and kept them out. And that's where I find making the photos is from estates.
Alright, guys, I'm out of here.
You're out of here.
Yeah, little one's being demanding, and all of my thrift stores that I go to are having half price day. So I'm going to take her out and go picking again for the third time this week. What is today? Today's Wednesday, right? Wow, I've went every day this week.
I'm not going out today.
That means you're making money, right?
Bye, Robin.
Yeah, bye.
Later.
See you, Robin. Nothing but lists.
Yeah, so this is some of the press photos that I've been doing lately.
Those are great, yeah.
If my camera will catch up. There we go. So, but yeah, I mean, if you see these, I mean, they minimum they go, about $4 a piece, and then I've had a few that I had auctioned off that went for like $30 a piece. So and a lot of times you'll find them in large groups because it's somebody that was in the business and just kept them all.
Right.
Because those are the ones that were like, they were sent out to newspapers and magazines and everything else back in the day before you had internet to publish them.
Exactly. Yeah. I've actually been saving old vintage cameras, like some of these older cameras that are kind of weird that actually have film in them. I'll pick them up for $1 or $2, and I've been saving them, and eventually I want to get the film developed when I have a good batch, just to see what I get or what I come up with. But once you have the film, then you can actually keep reselling the photos. So if you get something that's really interesting, you can have
you can actually put a copyright on them and own the rights to them.
Exactly. Now
I have a whole lot of military photos that I've done that with, where I bought out like some guy that took them himself. So once he's passed and it's been sold to me, the rights are transferred to me. No one else has the rights to them. And then once you copyright them, you can continuously reproduce them.
Yeah, definitely knows a lot about that too.
The only thing I've heard about with doing that, I've never actually reproduced any. It's definitely a side project I've got. Is you got to make sure you use a quality printer.
Right. Or you get them developed like the old school way if you want to do them that way.
Right.
And I guess that could be worth doing if you've got a good photographer or somebody that's good at doing it. Or
I'll tell you another good thing is slides.
Yes, I've been looking everywhere. Like that's one of the things that I don't like about Goodwill is they take all the slides and they take all the pictures, and you'll never get anything from Goodwill like that. And the only thing that I ever find at Goodwill is film in the cameras. And so, like I said, eventually I'll get them all developed and see what's going on, or see what I can do with them. But photographs are really hard to get into if you're not doing those estate sales every weekend, or you're not in a good garage sales. Like my garage sales, I've never seen a photo book or a box of old pictures or film or anything. Negatives.
Keep looking, man. It's out there. It's amazing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
With me, photos are so easy to ship that I don't even go looking for them anymore. Literally, I get a phone call and a box shows up. Because a lot of dealers don't like messing with them because it is a niche. So they'd rather call me up and then, I'll send them some money and they send me a whole box that they picked up in an estate just because they know they can flip it quick,
That's a good idea too.
So, and it's just like military. It's the same thing. This box showed up from California yesterday.
Yeah.
you know, and I didn't even know it was coming until I got a phone call last night after it already arrived. You know? And he's just like, hey, I went through, you know, all my extras in my collection, you know, when he bought groups and stuff like that. And he's like, hey, just let me know what you'll pay for it, you know. So it's been good to keep contacts with people to keep inventory coming in without even having to go out and source it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just another way to get your inventory.
That's one of the things that's one of the reasons why I started making videos and trying to get out there myself, is because I want people to know that, hey, if you've got stuff that you aren't sure about or you don't want to mess with, like big Magic card collections or Pokemon collections or video game collections, like just stuff that you don't want to deal with, then I'll take it. get with me, you know.
Right.
I want to have those contacts. And I've actually got stuff that I find that, you know, like some of the people here on this panel, I could be like, hey man, I found all this stuff. I don't want to deal with it, and they'll take it.
You want to send it to me?
That's just it. You know, with sports cards and games, even before I met you, I always just wholesaled them out because it's not my niche, it's not my interest, but I know there's money in it, so I make a little bit, and then, you know, the buyer can make a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, if it's not my niche and I don't want to mess with it, I am not afraid but I know I can make something on it. I'm not afraid to spend $10 or $20 or even $100, and then as long as I can double my money really fast by flipping it right away, I don't care how much you make on it. If I find a bunch of old Militaria stuff, man, then you're the first guy I'm going to talk to. And you do have to give me your number, by the way, so that I can start texting you, because I've got problems with my phone where I don't have that Facebook. They've changed it to the Facebook Messenger app, and I've literally taken every app off of my phone that I can, and I don't have room for hold on. Everything looks good for me. But anyway, yeah, I can't do the Facebook Messenger app on my phone for some reason.
I tell you, you know, like I said the other day, you know, this is the first group I've ever joined on Facebook. I'm not a social media advocate.
Yeah.
So get hold of me via text or a phone call is definitely the easiest way, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, we do have experts on this panel, people with their niches, and if you're somebody that, maybe you're a small-time seller, maybe you've got a full-time job and you don't have a whole lot of time, I mean, you can get a hold of people in the Facebook groups, and it doesn't have to be me. You know, it can be anybody that, you know, you blast that stuff out there and put up a post on the groups. Hey, I've got all this stuff. I have no idea what to do with it, and I really don't want to deal with it. You'll find somebody that'll want to talk to you about just helping them flip it.
Yeah. Well, same thing with me. You know, if people want to send me a Facebook message, just include your email. You know, I'll get a notice and I'll send you an email back.
Right.
You know. So, but hey, I've got to get going. All right,
yeah, we're coming up towards the end of the show anyway, so we're going to be doing this every day this week, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell your friends. We're going to be live every morning. Hopefully we'll have some more great guests on. Lucky enough to have Gilldaddy and from the Gilmonies and the Reseller Society, and also had Kevin Bucchio on from the Thrifting Lounge. Go join their groups, guys. If you're not a part of all these different groups, then it's really good to kind of get involved with all of them and not just one. I mean, it kind of feels like every group has their little niche, but I mean, there are thousands of people in each one of these Facebook groups. And I mean, you can get in there and you'll find somebody that is maybe sees your post in one group but doesn't see it in another. The more groups that you join in the reseller community, it's just the more exposure you'll have with your posts and your items, especially if you're just getting started and you have a lot of questions. So get out there, get on those groups, watch those videos. I know Kevin does a lot of haul videos. I do a lot of videos. Gil Money makes a lot of videos. Tell them about do you know anything else about that course that you mentioned a couple weeks ago, Dave?
The one we're putting together?
Yeah.
We don't have anything. We don't really have a date to when it's going to be completed yet. But yeah, we're still working on it. I'm working on it with Ronnie Hart, Autumn Enos, and Jesse Forbes. Yeah, there'll be more to come.
Great. Well, keep us updated.
Yeah, actually, I have a pretty good announcement too. I think I told Callie Picker, but I don't know if you guys are. I know you guys are in Thrift and Lounge. We had a pinned post a few days ago. Bubble Fast, you know, the bubble wrap place, stuff like that. They're offering Thrift and Lounge members 5% off all your order. Plus, they give you a Scotty peeler. I don't know what a Scotty peeler is, but I know I just ordered for them, and I mean, I don't even get the.
Educational one. That's Danica.
That's what it is. Okay.
Those things are great.
What is this supposed to? I don't even know what it does. What is this supposed to do?
It just helps you out peeling stickers off.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're a Thrift and Lounge member, I think the code word's Thrift and Lounge. And if you have any information on that, just hit me up after that and post it in the group.
Yeah, the Thrift and Lounge, they're having a lot of marketing things going on, and we're getting sponsors.
Yeah, we're working on a few big ones too in the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll have that done in the next few weeks. But it's crazy when you get 6,000 members how people just want to advertise and stuff. So I don't know, but anyways, but seriously, thank you, Paul, for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, Kevin. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
I'm around.
I think we got a lot of great information put out there, and this is what we do, guys. This is just a live hangout. I mean, when it's not live, this is what you're going to see when you go in. They fill up really fast. It's regular that you're going to get 8 people, 10 people in these things, and a lot of really knowledgeable people. You're going to have a lot of new people, and you can get information from everybody. I mean, I have people that I've never met before, like Eric. I mean, I've known him for like
72 hours.
Yeah. And I mean, he just popped out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, like, wow, you are definitely.
Hey, well, you can thank Gilldaddy for that. Thanks to his Seller Society for video.
Yeah, but get involved with these hangouts. It'll help you guys out a lot if you just want to expand. I mean, you don't even have to be a beginner. I mean, I got started at this when I was already doing good enough numbers where I was full-time, you know, and it's helped me tremendously, and it's really, it motivates you, and it will help you just learn more about everything from how to ship items. You know, you'll have somebody like, man, I got this Guitar Hero guitar and I don't have a box that's big enough. What do I do? You know, you can just ask. You don't have to go look at a video. You don't have to go wait for people to post on Facebook. You can just pop in, and somebody will be able to help you out. But anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that little thumbs up button on the bottom there, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for coming.
Bye.